So remember Hagar, Sarah's slave slash servant slash handmaid, the one that Abraham just had to sleep with before Sarah could be pregnant. Well, have you ever wondered how Sarah came about having an Egyptian slave? Well, the earliest rabbis also wondered about that, and it seems like they've come up with an answer. So let's get into it. And if you're new here, hi, my name is Ilyan. I wrote a master's on alchemy and Jungian dream analysis, a PhD on Palestinian political identity and music. I'm a writer, teacher, tarot reader, and soon-to-be citizen of the alien world thanks to my marriage to this guy. So in Genesis 16, we are told that Sarai, Abram's wife, because this is before they get their new name, had borne Abram no children, but she did have an Egyptian maidservant named Hagar. But as I mentioned earlier, the Hebrew Bible doesn't really tell us how Sarah came about having an Egyptian handmaid. A few books earlier, in Genesis 12, we learn that Abraham and Sarah went to Egypt on their way to Canaan. And Abraham, to protect himself, played a little trick on Pharaoh. So he told Sarah, he was like, listen, babe, I love you, but I'm gonna need you to pretend to be my sister when we go and talk to Pharaoh so that Pharaoh can look favorably on me. So when Abraham and Sarah introduced themselves as brother and sister in Pharaoh's palace, Pharaoh decides that he's gonna have Sarah for himself. But the Lord did not like this. Not the fact that Abraham lied, because Yahweh always does his bidding through tricksters, but the fact that Pharaoh felt entitled to Abraham's wife, despite the fact that he didn't know she was his wife. So Mana Daddy afflicts Pharaoh's household with a series of mighty plagues. So Pharaoh puts two and two together and calls Abram back to his palace, and he's like, bro, why wouldn't you tell me that she was your wife? Why would you say that she was your sister and bring all this pain on me? Just take her and go. The subtext here is that Abram lied about Sarah being a sister so that he would be treated well, right? Because when Pharaoh saw how beautiful Sarai was, he gave Abram sheep and cattle and donkey, male servants, female servants, camels. So in the Bible narrative, Abram takes all the stuff that Pharaoh gave him, gets Sarah back, and heads to Canaan. And this is where Bereshit Rabbah comes in. And remember, Bereshit Rabbah is a midrash, or a rabbinical study of biblical text written between the 4th and the 6th century CE. Midrash, madrasa, study, school. Subtle reminder that Arabic and Hebrew are sister languages. But anyway, in Bereshit Rabbah, when Pharaoh sees the miraculous acts that are done on behalf of Sarah by Mana Daddy, before sending Abraham away with all of his stuff, he offers him his own daughter. And he says, it is preferable that my daughter be a handmaid in your household than a mistress in any other. And thus Sarah came to have an Egyptian handmaid named Hagar. And in Bereshit Rabbah, the rabbis also connect this to Psalm 45. The daughters of kings are among those who honor you. At your right hand stands the consort, attired in gold from Ophir. And thus they continue on to Canaan, Abram, Sarai, Hagar, and all of their servants and camels and sheep, and until in Genesis 16, Sarai gives her handmaid Hagar to her husband Abram as a wife. And immediately, just like that, Hagar is pregnant with Ishmael or Yishmael, whose birth and circumcision and banishing we can get into in the next video, because I feel like the whole Abraham era deserves its own series. I mean, he is the patriarch of the monotheistic trilogy, right? What do you think? Are we interested in more Abraham stories? Let me know in the comments and follow for more. Okay, love you. Bye.